morning. Good morning. Y'all, it is TGIF, and thank goodness it's Friday indeed. Today is actually my 4th day of being back to work after vacation. Y'all, I wasn't even ready to come back. I'm gonna be honest. I needed that time off. And it gave me some time to reflect on my job, my personnel, my boss, my company, myself. Not in that order, probably myself first and foremost. Y'all been at this company for like 4 years now. And I've always felt that when I came to San Diego, it was going to be okay. Regardless of what happened, it was going to be okay. When I first came here, I wound up sleeping in a car, and I did a vlog about being homeless in San Diego. We wound up sleeping in a car. But when I left Charlotte, God said, "Do you trust me?" And I said, yes. And I trusted him, and I came across country. We crossed the California line with $50. That was it. And the person that I was supposed to stay with, she didn't answer the phone the first night, the second night, the third night. So me and my daughter, my kids, we were like, okay, so we're over here. What options do we have? And we decided to stick it out. The best decision we ever made. Yeah, I'm going to McDonald's. Probably shouldn't, but I need some breakfast. It was the best decision we ever made. And I never forget when we left Charlotte. I probably need a car mount if I'm going to vlog and drive. But anyway, I never forget when I left Charlotte. I was packing up my U-Haul. Mind you, I didn't have a job. And I left because I was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm unemployed for 2 years. I've been in call center management for X amount of years. I can't find a job. Something is telling me to go. And I said, I'm ready. And God said, do you trust me? And I said, yes. And I'll never forget that because I was packing my U-Haul and I said, let me get all my sentimental items off of here that can't be replaced. Hold on, y'all.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. How can I get you?
Where was I at? Oh, so I was removing all the sentimental items off the U-Haul. Like my granddaughter pictures, my kids' pictures when they were little, and, you know, paperwork that couldn't be replaced. And I heard God say, do you trust me? And I said, yes, Father, I do. But these things can't be replaced. I'm going to need to take these. He said, do you trust me? I said, and I'm standing in the U-Haul taking these pictures out of boxes that have been packed, going through them, trying to get to the items so I can put them in the trunk. And I heard him say again, do you trust me? And I said, yes, I do. Mind you, I'm still going through the boxes looking through the boxes for the stuff that I can't replace. And I heard it again louder. Do you trust me? And I said, Father, I do. He said, put it back. And I put everything back. And when I tell you, we did a free fall into faith and trust. Oh my goodness. Hi, how you doing?
53, good, how are you?
All right. Let's see. Here we go.
Hello, you want me to go off? What have you? You want me to do that?
This looks a little big. This doesn't look like. Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't look like mine.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Put a timer in here. 47 cents. Right, and your biscuit meal.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, guys. I had to get my breakfast. So anyway, when I said we did a free-for-all into faith, we did a free-for-all into faith. And God said, trust me, and I said I do. So we came. And once we got here and we were sleeping in the car, I was never afraid. Not one time was I ever afraid. Now this is, mind you, I came all the way across the country from North Carolina to California. Never afraid. Wound up sleeping in the car. Never afraid. Because I trusted and I had faith in God. Let me tell you what happened that caused fear to rise up. I was over here 3 months and I got the job at the hospital where I currently work. I manage a communication center for the hospital. We initiate all the codes for the hospital. So if you ever go into a hospital and you hear overhead code blue, code green, that's the department I manage. Every hospital has a department, an administration side that does the communication for the hospital. So anyway, let me tell you what struck fear into my core. Because see, the devil can't let you have victory. He can't do it. He's not going to do it. So I got this job. And I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. You allowed me to come over here with $50 remaining, get a job that allowed me to sustain, not be dependent, but independent, with a salary that will allow me to be in one of the most expensive cities to live in. What? Won't he do it? Now let me tell you what struck fear in me. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to. The devil has a way. My darn staff. I started off fine for the first month because I'm real relaxed. I'm a very relaxed manager. Very relaxed. Look, you do your job, I do my job. Don't make me look like I don't want to do my job, and then we're going to have a problem. Point blank, period. And I've said throughout my career, I've never fired anyone. I've never, ever, ever fired anyone. What has happened is they're fired themselves. I've helped them with the paperwork. I don't lie on people because people need their jobs. But if you get to work and you think you're not going to do your job, I got to do mine. So again, I don't fire you, fire yourself. But I'm digressing. So the first month I was fine. My staff was like, oh, okay, she laid back, whatever. Then when it came, okay, introductory time is over and I had to do my job, these people lost their damn mind. When I say I was back and forth to HR 8 times within 8 months, it was ridiculous. HR even I sat down with the HR rep. He said, I've never seen this before. He said, I don't understand. Do they not get that every time they bring you in here and we can prove that it's not founded or not any merit behind it, it lessens their credibility? They didn't care. I got pulled in for being a racist. I hired an Asian girl who's no longer there. She's moved on. I hired an Asian girl. My staff took me to HR, said, I walked her through the middle of the department and said, look, y'all, I bought me a China doll. First of all, she wasn't Chinese, she was Vietnamese. So they called a young lady in and asked her, did I do that? And she was like, no, she didn't do that. Then another report was I came out of my office, stood in the middle of the department and said, I'm firing all the riffraff. First of all, I don't use the word riffraff. It was just a mess. It was a mess. There was one young lady, she's no longer there. She was there 22 years. Again, I don't fire anybody, you fire yourself. She fired herself. She was the biggest aggressor of them all. When I say that girl plotted and planned for me to lose my job, and at first she was like, oh, we've never had a black woman in charge of the department. This is going to be good. We should form a bond. Girl, see, let me tell you something. Black people, you're going to understand. African Americans, you're going to understand when I say this. See, I'm proud to be me. I'm proud of the skin I'm in. I'm very proud to be who I am. I like me. I like my chocolate skin. But I can't speak the same for everybody. Some of us have deep-seated issues that we haven't dealt with. This woman thought because we were the same complexion that we would unite. And I wanted to tell her, girl, you the other dark meat. I don't deal with that dark meat. I don't deal with that type. You want to be insubordinate, disrespectful, aggressive, and want me to cover all your stuff. So you want a mask of a supervisor. While you do wrong, you want me to cover for you. No, girl, no. And she would tell me stuff like, I've been here longer than you. Yeah, you've been here 22 years in the same position. You need to get a grip and know your job and do your job. This girl would figure every way not to do her job. And then when she got caught, oh, it's a mistake. It was just a mistake. No, honey, you've been there 22 years. It's not a mistake. It's a decision. Anyway, she was one of the ones that was running around telling people stuff I was saying that I really wasn't saying. There was times I would come into my department and they wouldn't speak to me for a week. I would go in my office sitting and laughing like, now let me just say this. There's nobody in my department under 21. Majority of my staff was very tenured. They had been there, like one girl had been there since I was 9. I'm 50. She's been there since I was 9. So if you wanted to be a supervisor, honey, you had 10 years until I turned 19. Then you had another 21 years before I turned 40. And then after I turned 40, you had another 5 years before I came to California. So you had plenty of time to make that move. Anyway, because she was another one that was a bully. But once I faced off with her, because I said, listen, I feel like in order to calm the department down, I got to come after you because you seem to drive this department. And I'm not having it. Where do they do that at? Where do you go to work and have to explain to your staff that you're not afraid of them? Where does that happen? Where? And why is it allowed to happen? And what I would hear throughout the hospital, oh, they've always been like that. Oh, they've always been disrespectful. Oh, so y'all tolerated, y'all cultivated it, y'all accepted it. Well, guess what? Not me. That behavior struck fear in me. Not of them, but of me. Because I was like, God gave me this job as a blessing, and I'm about to blow it. I'm going to go in there and slap the crap out of somebody because they don't really know who I am, and I'm going to walk the hell up out of this job after I beat the brakes off a couple of people. And I thought, no, that's the person you used to be. That's not who you are now. Why would you let them take you back to a place and time that you didn't even enjoy yourself? Why would you give somebody that much control? Why? I became fearful for my job, for myself, for my sanity, for my emotional state. How was I not afraid to come across country, not knowing anybody over here? I don't have any family over here. All my family's on the East Coast, from New York to North Carolina. I don't have any family on the West Coast. How was I not afraid to travel across from the East Coast to the West Coast? I was not afraid. When I got homeless, I was not afraid. When I slept in my car, I was not afraid. When I didn't know where I was going to eat, I was not afraid because I stood on my faith. But then I get a job that allowed me to sustain. God provided me a resource, and it struck fear. Let me tell y'all something. The time away from my vacation, I really needed it because I had to evaluate all of that. I trusted people I shouldn't have trusted. I almost got fired for trying to help somebody keep their job. Young lady almost got fired trying to help her keep her job. Can you believe that? This girl is walking around in clothes I gave her. Still owe me money. And I almost got fired because I positioned myself where I shouldn't have. I'm not personally invested with these people. These people are my employees. They not my friends. They not my family. They not my associates. If I saw a lot of them in public, I wouldn't speak. Matter of fact, I saw one in the grocery store one day, and I spotted her before she spotted me. I was like, oh, that's her. And I turned right around. I want nothing to do with them in my personal life. Nothing. Nothing. Because when you show me who you are, one thing is, I believe you. And I watch what you do to others, and I know I'm not exempt from that behavior. Now, there was one that got away from me because she comes across very meek and, oh, I've had a challenged childhood, and I'm trying to better myself in my journey. And she's a snake. She is a straight snake. She's one of those people who loves to live in victimhood. She revels living in the victimhood. She's not a survivor, she's a victim. She feels like being a victim will get her what she wants, how she wants. That's what she does. So, oh well, whatever. She's no longer in my department. And then continue to try to bully me out of hours once she left my department. You're gonna give me those hours. I didn't agree to leave that department. Yes, you did. When you got another job, you agreed to leave that department. It was a mess. It was a straight mess. But I had to understand that the position that I was in, I allowed myself to be in. I always know to watch people's behavior. I have family right now, y'all, I don't speak to. No more. Because their behavior over time has become more and more blatant and more disrespectful. No. So why would I keep aligning myself up with people I would have to keep forgiving? How about I'm going to forgive you and I'm going to move on? I'm not going to hold anything you did over your head. I'm not even going to hold on to it. But what I am going to hold on to is the fact that I know what you're willing to do and what you're capable of doing. So why continue to position myself in that place and in that space while I'm angry, frustrated, and hurt? Why do that to myself? Now, if I know to do that with family members, why wouldn't I know to do that to complete strangers that I didn't know until I started here, that have no bearings on my future? Why would I not know to do that? Y'all, let me tell y'all something. When somebody show you who they are, one, believe them, y'all. Also, a person with self-confidence, self-worth, self-esteem, and self-value don't spend time trying to break the next person down because they're too busy trying to build themselves up. So they don't have time to figure out how to break you down because they jealous or envious or want to be spiteful or vindictive. They don't have time. What they do, what I do, is if I see that you're willing to cause some kind of drama or chaos in my life, I back up and be like, nope, I ain't going to do this. I'll forgive you and I'll silently move on. You'll be wondering what happened, and I'm thinking, you happened. There was a young lady in my department right now. She's going to be leaving soon. Me and her started attempting to build a personal bond, which was another mistake I did. Because some people come in friendly mode and didn't know how to separate the lines. So she was doing a lot of stuff that would be considered insubordinate. She would tell me what she was and wasn't going to do. She would challenge me on every angle, and I'm like, girl, I can't do you personally or professionally. There was a time where we had to do morning huddles, which was deliver morning information that happened overnight when, people weren't there, or anything, that information that was very important for them to know that I may have gotten through an email or what have you, or some sort of communication. Well, because I work in the communication department, it was hard to do those huddles. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one person stay on the phone, everybody off, we'll communicate the huddle, and then we'll email it out. She said point blank, I'm not doing it. You're not doing it? Wait, you know how the rest of the staff is acting with me, and me and you hang out after work, and what do you mean it's not conducive to my role? What's conducive to your role is what I tell you to do. That's what's conducive to your role. I operate within the perimeters and realms of the organization that hired me. So what do you mean it's not conducive to your job? Your job is to do what I tell you to do. I'm not going to do it. It's going to take away from my time from being on the phone. I'm not going to do it. I'm not rotating. At first I was like, I don't feel like going through this battle. Okay, so you stay on the phone. And I thought about, no, because if the rest of my staff, and they already half-ass crazy, witness me allowing her to do what they want, what do you think they're going to do? I said, no. You got to get up. So she goes home, I guess talks to her significant other, comes back to work and says, well, sorry about that. She comes back to work the next day and says, my man told me if I don't believe I should do it, to stand up for myself and don't do it. I said, you know what? He's right. You shouldn't do it. If you don't think you want to do it, you shouldn't do it. However, you do what you feel like you need to do, and I'm going to do what I feel like I need to do. So every time I tell you to get up and you don't get up, I'm going to write you up. So your man must be comfortable with being a one-income household, because that's what he's leading you to. So when I tell you to get up, it is insubordination when you don't. So what I'm going to do is write you up. Every time I tell you to get up, you don't want to move, that's fine with me. Stand up for what you do. What you do. Do what you do. But I'm going to do what I do, and understand, don't take it personal. It's just business. It ain't personal. It ain't personal. She said, well, I'm tired of you threatening my job. No, I'm not threatening your job, honey. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. It ain't no threat. That's going to be an action. You want to test it? Let's do it. Needless to say, she didn't try that. But these are the incidences and the situations that struck fear in me, because I constantly felt like I was in some kind of mental battle with them. And when I left, I thought about it. I said, why did I allow myself to get placed in these situations? These people on my staff, they're not my friends. I go in my office and shut my door and do my job. My other challenge was my boss. Oh my gosh, this lady. Just to say it like this, she said to me when Trump was running for office, just to give you some insight on her, she said, Trump is going to be the best thing this country could ever have as a president. I said, what? She said, yes, because I just believe Michelle Obama is a race baiter. What? Oh, hell no, this is who I'm working for? Ugh. So I'm going against all these challenges, but I go back to what God said, trust me. God gave me this job, and I will not leave or move until he says it's time. I've applied for plenty of jobs trying to get out of here. I haven't gotten anywhere. There's a bigger picture for me, and I know this. God didn't bring me across the country for no reason just to get a job. He could have gave me a job on the East Coast. I could have got a job over there. What he did was take me out of the playing field on the East Coast so I could see what the players was doing. Because when you're on the field in a football game, you can only see to your immediate left, your immediate right. You can't see what's behind you. You can only see what's in front of you. God took me off that field and said, let me show you how disrespectful, manipulative, and opportunist some of your family members can be. And I heard them with new ears, and I saw them with new eyes. And I said, wait a minute. I gotta back up. They've been like this the whole time. And the only thing I can say is, oh, it's family. The word family should never ever be used to be disrespectful, to be hurtful, to be manipulative, or to anger someone and then say, oh, that's just family. No. Family is more than DNA. So I'm on the West Coast, and I have my children. All but my son, he's still in Charlotte. He's with a young lady that I truly adore. The first one he's ever dated that I really, truly like. And I'm praying that God brings him here so my family can be united. And I trust him to do that. So when you have doubts in what you're going through, pray about it. Ask for clear ears and clear eyes. And he'll let you see. And he'll let you hear what you've been missing. Y'all, I got to go to work. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.